Good afternoon, Dalila Bela. Welcome on VH Berries.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm very happy, very grateful. I put up my favorite t-shirt for you, just for you today.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Through your work, you told me one thing, that lions don't eat vegetables.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Arctic Gardens. Yeah, that was my first acting job. I worked alongside a lion. Yeah, it was a pretty wild when they brought it in. Of course, I wasn't actually filming there. That was a bit of movie magic where they did a take with me in it saying my lines to my mom and essentially looking at a tennis ball and pretending that it was the lion. And then they took me out of the scene and then they brought in the lion and they did the entire thing with the lion and then kind of brought those two together. But it looks like I'm talking to my imaginary friend who is a lion. It was really great.
Absolutely, Dalila Bela, because it was a commercial made in Montreal for Arctic Gardens. And now you just made a breakdown of all the secret of production.
Oh no, I've revealed it all.
I'm very impressed by the fact that you just mentioned that they bring a real lion afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, it's obviously like more for safety reasons, right? Because in the scene, from what I can remember, I was sitting rather close to where the lion was. So if I had actually been sitting, like if 5-year-old me had actually been sitting that close to the lion, that would have been a safety hazard, you know?
Tell me about your relationship with this very special city, Montreal, because you were born there.
Oui, je suis québécoise. Yeah, je suis née à Montréal. D'abord, je parle français, anglais, portugais et espagnol, car ma mère est née au Brésil et mon papa est de Panama. So I lived there until I was 6, I think, because when I was 5, I started acting, and I've been acting ever since then. So for the past 15 years now, because I'm 20. And when I was around 6 years old, my family and I, we moved to Vancouver, Canada, because it was like the movie industry was like very good there. So we went there, and I've been back a couple of times to Montreal, unfortunately, due to me, now living in LA and, you know, working here, or when I was on Anne with an E, the Netflix TV show for 3 seasons. I was filming in Toronto. So that's kind of when I was trying to go to Montreal a little bit, but even then, due to my work schedule, I wasn't able to go for long, but I miss it. The people, the food, the vibrancy. Like last time I went, I remember that's what struck me the most. It was just the energy. Everybody felt just comforting and happy. And I remember walking past like a bunch of street vendors and just everyone was really friendly. I don't know, like that. And that sounds like a strange thing to say, I will admit, but I liked that. I miss my hometown, and I hope that I can go back to it sometime soon. You know, it would be great to see Montreal again.
Absolument, parce qu'en ce moment, il commence à neiger progressivement. On est en décembre.
Yeah, j'adore la neige, mais I like the cold, kind of more wintry stuff. But the thing that sucks is when it's -40 and you can feel your fingertips just freezing off, and you're like, oh, this is great. Mais j'adore la neige, j'adore l'hiver. Oh. Ça me manque.
And Dalila Bela, these last couple months and weeks have been crucial for you because it's a very precious time for you to observe what's around you and prepare the next chapter of your career and life.
Yeah. I'm not currently working now, mainly doing auditions and stuff, but that's given me the time to focus on my other passions, such as becoming a screenwriter and a director, and on music and stuff too. That's the main things that I'm focusing on now. I'm taking that time to not only work on myself, take care of myself, my physical and mental health, and work on some of my other passions.
Tell me about your siblings, because if you have the microphone today, it's because of him. He is the producer of all of your work. It was a joke.
Oh, yeah. I have two younger brothers. One is 17. He recently turned 17, actually. His stage name is Bruce Salomon. He's also an actor. And my youngest brother, his name is Rafael Alejandro. He's currently 14. He's been on stuff like Jungle Cruise, Bunked, Once Upon a Time. We're a family of actors here. And my brother Bruce, he's the one who helps us out during tapes with the editing, and with the audio. He has this understanding of it. It's really, really cool. And I feel very, very grateful that, my brothers and I, we are a team. And I'm grateful to have their support and their love in my life.
I am very curious about the new path that you just mentioned around screenwriting, because right now you are using your best Courier new font to write.
Am I sorry? I think the audio cut off a little.
The Courier new font. This is the font used to write scripts.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Yeah, sorry. I recently started actively. I've always been a storyteller, whether it's been in acting or in music or in writing. Very recently I started actively writing scripts specifically and taking certain courses in order to really learn the intricacies of screenwriting, and it's been great. It's been fun. I've always loved writing in general, and being able to write for the industry that I love, which is the film industry. It's been amazing.
I assume that you are trying to explore, Dalila Bela, multiples genres like comedy or horror, for example.
Yeah. My favorite genre to write has always kind of been more like drama, suspense, thrillers. But I do enjoy, I really do enjoy also writing more horror and the occasional comedy, because you always need... even when you're writing a more dramatic story, right, you need those moments of happiness, right? Those moments of comedic relief to balance out the eventual lows, right? So you have to know how to write a little bit of everything and then find those things that you feel really represent the kind of writer that you want to be. And in my case, I've always adored writing stories that kind of challenge perspectives, that analyze different aspects of the human mind and of human nature, and specifically dealing with the whole fact of how do you react as a human being when you're put into between a rock and a hard place, those are the kind of things that I like to write about currently. But yeah, I'm looking forward to exploring all the different genres and seeing which ones click,
all of these stories wouldn't be possible without one person, because you just mentioned your twins, brother and siblings and parents, but there is your aunt who is at the very beginning, the one who told you about this very special announcement in the newspapers.
Yeah. When I was roughly 3 or 4 years old, my parents told me that they'd always see me staring at the TV and not only memorizing the lines of the actors, but then also performing alongside them. So one day while when I was still in Montreal, my aunt, she found this article in the newspaper that was talking about this acting competition that was going to take place from Friday till Sunday. All ages were accepted. And my parents asked me, hey, do you want to try it? And little 4-year-old me was like, yeah. So I went, I ended up winning the competition. And after the fact, my parents asked me, do you want to keep doing this? And I went, yes. And yeah, I'm here today. 15 years of experience. Yeah, that's kind of where it all started. And I wouldn't change anything for the world.
And Dalila Bela, this is maybe the beginning of a new cycle, because maybe that some girls that are watching your show on their screens are maybe trying to act like you before you say some sentences.
I've always the fact that my words, my actions, my acting, my existence in a way that the fact that can inspire others, that is amazing to me. You know, I want that. You know, I've always believed, give it your all, give it your hardest, fight for what you believe in, never give up. If this is something that you love, if it's a passion, if it matters to you, don't give up, because it is worth it. It is worth it. And yeah, just make sure that whatever you do in life, it's what you love, because that your happiness, your sense of peace, your focus, your motivation, your drive, that's what matters. You and you being happy and okay, I guess.
Absolutely, because above your motivation, the most important thing that I observe is your discipline and a laser focus.
Thank you. I feel like everyone, we have those days where sometimes you wake up and you're like, no, you don't, even if you love what you do, you're just like, I kind of want to sleep, but when it is something that you love, when you have something, that you feel is worth fighting for, it helps. It helps to get you out of bed in the morning, so to speak, because you love it. You love it. This is what you want to do with your life, or it's a passion in general. Maybe what you really wanted to do today was like, I don't know, I want to bake a pie because I love baking. I love baking pies, and that love, I guess that's always what's kind of helped me keep pushing forward, is the fact that I love what I do. This is my chosen vocation in life. It's my passion. I'm a fish in water whenever I'm acting, whenever I'm in the industry, and any second that I can spend being that artist it's a dream come true. So yeah, I guess that's kind of how I'm able to keep that laser focus.
And that Dalila Bela artist has many declination and many activities, for example, as you mentioned, acting, screenwriting, but there is also another domain, which is music, because you can play piano, guitars, and maybe some secret instruments that we don't know yet and that you are training in secret?
Shh, that's supposed to be a secret. You're not supposed to tell anybody that. No, yeah. I play guitar, play piano, I sing. Music has always been a very important part of my life. I'm Latina. My mom's from Brazil, my father's from Panama. And so I've always kind of grown up with a very multicultural world in general, both in food, in music, in life perspective. And music it's my safe place, it allows me to express my emotions, in a completely different way than I can in acting. It provides me with catharsis. It energizes me. I don't know. I've always adored immersing myself in music as well as another form of expressing myself through art. And I want to learn more instruments. I think I'm gonna start trying to learn how to play the electric guitar, because that's another instrument that I've always adored. Yeah, hearing a good electric guitar riff, it's just sends shivers. It's amazing, and I want to be able to do that too. So I think that's my next my next goal is to learn how to play the electric guitar.
One EP, Drop Me a Line.
Yeah, there was a song that I featured on with an old coworker and friend of mine. His name's Kyle Maher, I think he pronounced Maher or Meager. I can't remember how he pronounces his last name, but we essentially over Instagram, he was working on his EP. I was like, that's cool, dude. That's awesome. And he was like, hey, Dalila, do you want to feature on one of my songs? And I was like, sure, yeah, that sounds awesome. So I went with him and his team, and we worked on the lyrics, and on the melody. And then on a separate occasion, I went and I recorded the songs. I also recorded I was one of the actresses in the music video for it as well. It was an absolute blast. Up until that point, I had never done, I had done some songs, mainly for voiceover work that I had done, and sometimes for my acting work as well, but it had never been, let's sit down and let's write a song and let's figure out a melody of this song that I would then record, and that would then also be able to be heard by so many different people. That was amazing. And I want to do, I want to do it again, because it was just, it was freeing also, freeing in a similar way to how I feel when I'm on set. It was indescribable.
This is completely freeing, Dalila Bela. And you just mentioned the word co-workers, which is crucial because you are playing in series, for example, Anne with an E, or other movies with hundreds of co-workers. So I think that the energy on the set is amazing and crazy. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, it really depends on the day sometimes, but more often than not, yeah, being on set is a little crazy. You as an actress, at least, you get to work, you get into costume, you go to hair and makeup, you go to set, you rehearse, you do the scenes, they have turnarounds. It's a blast, really, being able to work with a director, with the DOP, with the camera department in general, with costume, with hair and makeup, set deck, grips, sound, and then being able to connect with your scene partner or scene partners, depending on how many people are in that scene, and really immerse yourself within that world, the perspective of your character, and feed off of each other, because that's what it is. Acting, it's all about that careful dance, between your character, their goals, and the conflicts that they encounter when trying to achieve that goal. And then this other character and their goals and the conflicts that they're experiencing when trying to achieve their goal. And that chemistry that builds and builds, like it's amazing. And yeah, it's long hours, you know, and sometimes you're working in, like you're outside, it's absolutely freezing cold, and your costume is really, really thin, but you gotta pretend like you're not cold at all. You're fine. You can't be shivering. Or you're working on a set and there's just way too many mosquitoes, but you gotta pretend like they're not there, right? So it's sometimes there are moments where you're like, oh my God, I wish we were like in studio. But even then, sometimes in studio, then sometimes it can be really cold in studio or really hot in studio, or you got people, you got construction working on another set a little ways down. It's amazing to be able to tell stories with so many other creative minds, all working together for that common goal. And yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome, and I can't wait to get back in it.
Dalila Bela, the truth is that even the lion cannot get rid of the mosquitoes.
Yes, that is the truth.
Of course, all of your series and featured movies are made with voiceover in French. Et parce que tu peux parler français, je me disais, pourquoi est-ce que ce serait pas toi qui ferais la voix off en traduction française?
Ça, ce n'est pas ma décision. Oui, je parle français et je parle français et je pourrais faire le dubbing. Mais
Okay.
ce n'est pas vraiment ma décision. C'est un autre département. Mais if I could and if I'm offered, I definitely will take up that opportunity, because like not only will I be able to speak in French or in any of the other languages like Spanish or Portuguese, but I can also, like, it's me, right? You know, I don't know. It's a whole other thing that is I'm kind of not actively involved in. But if it's ever offered to me, I definitely will say yes.
Now it all makes sense. I understand why you are starting screenwriting, because you made it in the acting.
Yeah, the acting and reading various scripts and already enjoying writing in general kind of made me think, like, wait, you know, I can write my own things. You know, I can put these ideas that I have in my head on paper. If I want a movie that has like this, and that, I can write that. You know, I have that ability to do so. And yeah, it was largely born from acting in general and reading a lot of scripts and gaining experience, and a general idea of what scenes are supposed to look like on paper, what scripts are supposed to look like in general, due to like industry standard. But yeah.
On the general stage, I'm very fascinated, Dalila Bela, about the stage of your career right now, because you are 20 years old, so you are starting to get into the transition between the roles that are made for kids and now the roles for adults. How do you perceive this very powerful transition?
Well, it definitely opens up different opportunities, you know, acting wise, and the kind of roles that I'll be playing. I've always been a fan of characters and projects that, you know, that they challenge me. You know, they really push me to consider a completely different perspective. And specifically more like dramas and thrillers. That has always kind of been my preferred genre in general to act in, to write in. But when you're a kid, like I'm thinking mainly of my work on the PBS TV show called Odd Squad. I did that when I was 12, and it was a lot of fun. It was an absolute blast to play a secret agent, a very serious secret agent who worked for an organization run by kids who investigated odd things that would happen in the world and would use math to solve it. Like that is a wild concept. When you're 12, you're like, you know what? That's awesome. And it is awesome. Even now, I look back and I'm like, that was a lot of fun. And that was the sort of beauty of it. When I was 12, I was doing all these crazy things as my character Agent Olive, while also being this like really serious person. And then my later work, when I was more like from 15 to 17, when I was on Anne, it was more like teenager realm, where there's still moments where it's going to be a little silly, but more often than not, it's focusing more on like, more real world occurrences, and the acting is a lot more like grounded and whatnot, and the focus is less on big fantastical things and more on character relationships and different societal events. So it's a change. And then when you enter the more adult market, then it just gets even more into that. It's you can still have certain fantastical settings, like in fantasy TV shows. I'm thinking specifically of Netflix's Shadow and Bone. That it's grounded. It's about the characters and the relationships, but it takes place in this fantasy realm. I don't know. Acting in general, it's very fluid, and due to the inherent nature of it, where you just step into this entirely new world and to this entirely new character, and you see these various different perspectives, and you immerse yourself within this illusion, you can do pretty much anything. So yeah, the the transition into that, I guess it's like growing up. You start off, you're a baby, you're a toddler, you're a kid, you're a teen, you're an adult. So now I'm in another stage of my life and of my acting in general. And yeah, I'm like anything, you gotta head high, confident, and go do your best.
Of course, Dalila Bela, this is a new field of possibilities, and I truly understand, because you are taking it step by step. There is not a brutal transition. You are doing the thing one by one. And because, for example, the series and with E, the audience will be growing with you, because there is no solution to fight against time.
Yeah, time is inevitable. One of the things that I has always struck me, like I'll have fans now, that they'll comment on one of my posts and be like, "Oh my gosh, you're Agent Olive," and I did that when I was 12, and 8 years later, I'll either still have fans from when I was 12 or new fans who are who are watching the show and who see me, and yeah, just I love my fans. I really do love my fans, and I'm very grateful for them. And I adore interacting with them, and just sort of that the mind-boggling concept of the fact that, like, when I was 12 and doing Odd Squad, and now that I'm 20 and I had been doing Anne, like, these fans are growing with me in a sense too. It's pretty amazing.
At the very, very beginning, Dalila Bela, I was mentioning that right now this is a very precious time for introspection and reflection. How do you live on the daily basis? Do you meditate? How do you function?
Yeah. Well, the first thing that I do when I wake up, I try and drink water. I have a bottle of water by my bed, and I wake up and I just take a couple of minutes to wake up properly, drink my water, and just sort of breathe a little bit, and then I'll go out and I'll have breakfast with my family, and we'll laugh, we'll talk, we'll eat, and we'll have fun. I'll play with my dog. His name is Oliver. He's a Yorkshire Terrier, and he is insane, and I love him. And yeah, and then I'll just I'll go about whatever I have to do in that day, whether it is work on an audition, work on my script, practice guitar, practice piano, or sometimes it'll just be like an outing. I've always kind of been a more introverted person. Like I'll typically prefer to stay home, but I also like to go outside, whether it is on a walk, or biking. I used to do, long time ago, I used to do archery. And I think I'm gonna try and get back in it because that was also a lot of fun, and it was also another activity that I would do outside of the house. But yeah, and then, have lunch, remember to have lunch, work on whatever else I have to do, which it depends. I don't have due to the nature of the acting business and just kind of my life in general, my schedule is constantly changing. So, it's not like I have this day I do this day I do that. More often than not, I wake up and I'm like, okay, what do I have to do? All right, I'm gonna do this, and that today. And then I do my best to get them done. I make sure that I take time to relax and to de-stress, because that's a very, very important thing. And whether that's by reading a book, listening to some music, or watching TV shows with my family, playing a video game, that's sort of my daily routine. Then I eat dinner. Sometimes I'll watch some more TV shows with my family, like 1 or 2 episodes of whatever show we are watching as a family. And then, get ready for bed and try and be in bed by 10:30, because, you need to, sleep is very, very important. I don't know. I've never really thought about how I go about in my day. That is a very, I'm being very self-aware right now. Thank you for giving me that opportunity.
When I'm hearing you, Dalila Bela, I just realized that you are living with your family, which means that maybe you are going to plan to move on your own.
Yeah. I've always, my parents have always been very supportive of everything that I do, of my career, of my life. And yeah, thus far, especially because after COVID hit and whatnot and all the quarantine, everybody was at home. Everybody was staying inside. And I was 18 when it hit. So it's been, oh my gosh, 2 years. So much time. Oh, anyway, I've always wanted to have also a place of my own, so that I can, have that independence and that sense of, adulthood. I feel that that's something important. If you can do it, that's something, another very important stage in your life. But I really love my family, and my parents are again, as I said, very supportive, and they love me, and I really love them. So for now, I'm here. But yeah, I'm hoping in the sort of near future, I want to get my own place so I can start that other chapter of my life as well.
I mean, who cares? Because your true home is the basement in every video games.
Oh, home is where the heart is, yes. Oh, where...
Et pour revenir à la série Anne with un E, si je peux traduire ça comme ça, c'est pas un hasard du tout si le personnage que tu joues, Diana Berry, ça rime avec le podcast VH Berries.
Ouais, c'est... serendipity. Ouais, c'est... Ouais, t'as raison. Oh ben... Diana Berry, VH Berry, it's fate.
Tu parlais dans ta routine de tous les jours que parfois tu regardais du divertissement et des films, des séries. Est-ce que ça t'arrive de regarder les œuvres dans lesquelles tu joues, ou est-ce que c'est toujours assez compliqué?
Des fois. I usually don't watch the stuff that I've been in, mainly because like it's that thing where I was there when it was filming, so then to see it on screen sometimes, like it doesn't cross my mind to be like, oh yeah, maybe I should check out that episode that I did or that movie that I did. But when I do, I'm always amazed by the contrast between what I saw on set and then what ends up on screen. You know, it's really cool. It's really cool. Like, the movie industry is so cool, and I can't I can't gush about it enough. You know, more often than not, I end up watching like stuff that I'm not in. mainly because it's a different sort of, if I were to watch my own work, it's more to analyze what I had done and go, oh, okay, that's what I did. All right, this is how I'll improve to be better next time. That's kind of how, if I do watch my own things, my own work, that's usually how I look at them. So when I'm watching stuff to de-stress, I'll usually watch things that I'm not in, so that I'm not like analyzing, or actively thinking about all those different elements, so that I can just immerse myself in the TV show or in the movie, you know?
Got it, Dalila Bela. Congratulations. That's maybe because you don't have a Netflix account.
No, I do have Netflix. I do have Netflix. That a kind of desire of mine. I do want to go into like the middle of nowhere for maybe a week, like with no Wi-Fi, no internet, no nothing, and see what I do. I am a huge bookworm, so I probably would bring like several books with me, and that's how I would entertain myself all day, or just go walking about. But yeah, and streaming services like Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, HBO Max, Apple TV, I do use them, and that's where I find my main source of television and film.
C'était une blague, bien sûr, c'était une boutade, on sait tous que t'as un compte Netflix, c'est logique.
Tout le monde a Netflix, ouais.
Dalila Bela, thank you so much for this conversation, for your energy and for your time, and wishing you the best.
Ah, c'était mon plaisir, merci beaucoup.